I heard Frank Leboeuf, Ali, pre-game talking about how he was going to be keeping a particular eye on Doué. Today he's winning just his 6th cap. Only played in 1 World Cup qualifier. Of course, he was dealing with an injury through much of the fall.
I wonder who is it that he's actually competing against for a position in this national team. Because it could very well be somebody who's not here today, and Bradley Barcola. That may just be the guy that keeps him out. Doué is a special player. He really is. Injuries have been an issue, but he's got special ability, certainly in the final third. And we have seen him come off the bench and really have an impact for PSG in Champions League. Maybe that's a role that he could have with his French national team at the World Cup.
Digne. And again on the overlap. The Aston Villa man delivering the cross, repelled by Sanchez. Certainly lively stuff here, and Colombia have a chance to break 4 against 3 for now. An overlap available, and just fizzed across the face of goal. Still very much in the fold, the PSG man. Played nearly every minute in 2018. N'Golo Kante misplayed the first touch, but able to keep the attack alive. Cleouche looking to combine, and well, it's an ungainly tangle of legs rather than an actual foul.
There's an initial grab from Juan Cabal. Initial, a little something. Not enough for a penalty. Mojica sort of turns Cleouche around, and then Cabal, as you mentioned, tangling the legs, and we play on.
And Cabal is another who's looking to stake a claim in the World Cup squad. Only played 6 minutes of World Cup qualifying action. Now, chance for Thuram, going round the keeper, but he was offside. Montero out to make life difficult for him, but Marcus Thuram straying beyond the last defender.
Because it's not a guy that is really going to exploit his speed, he really has to play on that line. I mean, I don't want to be a stickler here, Adrian, but I would beg the director to give us a better angle than that. I'm just saying.
You mean you'd like to look across the edge of the penalty area?
It would be helpful, that's all.
Well, Marcus Thuram, big part of the World Cup campaign in 2022. Remember, he ended up playing the bulk of the final against Argentina. 80 minutes, including extra time.
It was interesting, as I was reading an article this morning in L'Equipe, the importance of games like this. And they made reference to that final against Argentina in saying that towards the end of that match, you see who was on the field for France, and it gives you an idea why is it important to find the right players to give you depth in a tournament like the World Cup.
Yeah, it's Colombia, though, who are forcing the issue here, and that was an all-important touch behind for the corner. My goodness. I think Arias thought he had a tap-in coming his way.
And he did. The service is coming. John Arias has the tap-in, and Lucas Hernandez with a sliding challenge. The left-hand side from Colombia.
And the corner from James repelled fairly easily, but here's Mr. Rodriguez again. Nice ball inside. This time the pass goes astray onto the left flank. Yeah, to go back to that point you were making, Ali, France entered the 22 final with Disasi, Konate, Thuram, Kolo Muani, Fofana, and Kingsley Coman all out on the pitch.
And that's exactly the point of the article. It was, listen, some people may not think these things are important and that those last few spots in the roster are not important, but they actually may be the players that end up winning the World Cup for you, or losing the World Cup for you, for that matter. So yes, it does matter to figure out which of these players are actually the right players for this team going into this World Cup.
Yeah. It's Kante eluding the defender Akliush onto Kalulu, and well, it's all along the ground, no touch from anyone. Yeah, Kalulu winning just his third cap. Yeah, squad depth, Ali, is going to be even more important when you consider there's going to be an extra game to be played this summer. Teams will potentially have to play 7 games if they make it all the way to the World Cup final. Doué to Digne around the back.
And just one last comment on that specific subject. Think about who scored the game-winning penalty for Argentina in that World Cup final. Gonzalo Montiel, who was never going to be part of the full picture for Argentina. He ends up being the one that scores the game-winning penalty.
A bit of a flourish there from Cherki, who puts his foot on the ball, dribbles around one opponent and a second, and still Cherki going. Was that offside? Flag stays down for now. Little pocket on the edge of the area, but a pocket that was closed down very quickly, but at the expense of a free kick. Lucas Hernandez brought down. The Colombians didn't like it at all.
I think Lucas Hernandez is getting beat to the board. Richard Rios just throws his body at him. Lucas Hernandez, I think, is already going down, knows that he's about to lose the ball, is drawing a foul. It's exactly the same thing I would have done, but that doesn't mean that it was a foul.
It does mean France have an opportunity from no more than about 23 yards or so here. A test perhaps in store for Alvaro Montero, the potential #1 keeper for Colombia. He has yet to officially win that battle. Four men in the wall. Cherki is standing over it. A little bit of a dispute between the two French players involved, and I think maybe leaving it for Digne.
Don't think Ryan Cherki was all too excited to walk away, to be honest with you.
Digne right into the wall. Give away from Digne. Colombia have it back. Some really good footwork there from Davinson Sanchez.
All right. A little bit of pushing and shoving. A little bit of something, some intensity, some fighting. I don't mind it.
Sanchez and Thuram locking horns.